Hey guys, Bob here, Raw Strength and Muscle. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm going to explain why I haven't been uploading consistently or doing anything consistently for the past several weeks, as well as how I'm going to fix the situation. See, what happened is a couple months ago, I started to notice little pains, okay? Not injuries, but pains. One of the things I did a couple months ago is I started doing judo, okay, 47-year-old white belt. What I don't have in skill, I did have in endurance, strength, especially explosiveness. I have some balance from when I used to do martial arts, from when I was a bouncer. I used to drag people out of bars. I kind of know how to manhandle people. So didn't have the most technique in the world, but I could literally pick a person up and throw them on the ground if I had to. So I was doing really good. I was having a blast with judo. They wanted me to compete. There's a little competition down here in Florida coming up. After a while, I noticed that I would do great in training and then I drive home and have a hard time getting out of the car. Little joint was, little joint was tweaked, or mostly it was like my back was sore. So I'm like, okay, well, it's a new stimulus, right? It's a new stimulus. Maybe I need to be careful about it, do a little more stretching, lay in the hot tub or lay in the sauna or something a little bit more. And that wasn't really helping. So I started taking a little bit of a break off of doing my judo, fine. Then I started hurting myself in the gym, okay? I would go to the gym and I'd come back and I'd have pains for no reason. Now, I lift heavy weights when I'm in the gym, okay? But they're not heavy for me because I haven't really increased the weight that I was lifting in like a very long time. So, looking at the weight I lift, it is heavy, but considering that I'm not pushing myself, trying to increase my strength, it's not really that heavy. So why am I hurting myself all of a sudden? When I was pushing myself to gain all this strength, I wasn't hurting myself, and now I'm hurting myself. And these weren't injuries. It wasn't like I could feel something snap or I could feel something tweak in my vertebrae. Okay, I know enough about medicine that like if my knee hurts, I do a little twisty twist to see the the medial ligaments, and I could tell by the way I'm standing that it's not like my anterior cruciate. So I'm like, well, maybe it's a little bit of my posterior cruciate. I mean, that's kind of like the way it kind of like looks maybe. But like, I'll hurt for a couple of days, they would just go away. My back hurts just in some weird place for like a day or two, and then it just goes away. So I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a break from training as well. Okay, lifting, going to the gym, doing my explosive muscle program. What I noticed is I actually even had as much or even more pain then. Okay, what happened is, I would just like wake up in the morning and not be able to get out of bed. My back hurt so bad. I would literally be like pushing on my knee with my hand, almost like I got a little cane in my hand, to walk into the bathroom, leaning against the sink to brush my teeth. Like I couldn't stand up, and I didn't do a damn thing. I didn't do judo. I didn't do weights. I didn't do anything whatsoever. Like 3, 4, 5 days a week and a half. I hadn't done anything. I wake up in the morning, I can't move. Okay, my knee hurts again for no reason. Why is this? Okay, so there's this guy, okay, who my mother knows personally, and she's been going to see him for a long time, who's like, quote, a chiropractor, but he's more into like homeopathic kind of stuff. He's not a big fan of like cracking bones and potentially making things worse, or over time making things worse. He's more of like finding the core reason why you're having this issue. Okay, and he's helped my mom out a lot with everything from food allergies to nutritional deficiencies to just health practices to help her do better despite whatever issues she might have physically. Okay, so I'm driving her down because she had an operation on her hand. She can't drive. So I'm driving her to visit him. She's like, I want you to see Jacob for 20 minutes. So I got him for an hour. I don't need more than 40 minutes. Sure, what do you see him for 20 minutes? Just talk to him. I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, it's your Father's Day gift because you're such a good fur dad for all the cats. And you've been helping me out when I've had this operation. I'm like, okay, fine. So I go in there and I start talking to him. And I'm like, dude, so I explain, all these little pains. I call them phantom pains because like they're not real. It's not like, you know, like I said, I know enough about medicine to know when there's an actual physical injury. And I also know the fact that I didn't do a damn thing, something hurts, and then it goes away. I didn't do anything to cause the pain. I didn't do anything for the pain to go away. It just comes and it goes. As a matter of fact, my girlfriend, who's a psychologist, I even asked her, like, do you think this is like psychosomatic? Do you think that I'm coming up with some reason, like some kind of way to self-sabotage? You know, I even asked her, like, you know, like I'm 47, she's a couple years older than me. I'm like, am I getting old? She's like, yes. Like, really? Like, you're not having issues like this, and I am. So anyway, next thing you know, I'm talking to this guy, you know, and I'm like, you know, am I getting old? Can I just not do this anymore? I mean, this is basically like I'm trying to build this business here, and I'm at this point where I not only can't, you know, I can't even, you know, do my workouts myself, much less, you know, promote them to other people. What's going on? And, you know, what he basically said is, in terms of like injuries, like being a 47-year-old judo white belt, what he says is like, you know, basically when you're a kid, you can bounce back from anything, no matter what you do. Then when you get 30, it changes. Like being a teenager is one thing. When you turn 30, you can't do what you used to do before. But after 30, it doesn't really physically change that much. You know, it might decline a little bit, whatever, but it's not a really steep difference. It's basically 0 to 30 and 30 to infinity, okay, or like the changes. So I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I, you know, got in excellent shape when I was, you know, when I was 39 is when I first started getting into shape. So it's like, I don't understand what the hell's going on here. So he's like, is there anything you've been doing lately? You know, not physically doing, because I told him about that, but like anything I've been taking into me, you know, whether it's food, supplements, you know, whatever, behavioral differences, you know. And it was funny because the one thing that I could think about was dextrose, okay? Now, if you guys know anything about me, the different workouts I've done, basically, like I said, when I was 39, I was in terrible shape, got in really good shape. And what I did was something I called the Anaerobics Workout. I did it years ago, years before 39, when I was cutting weight for and getting in shape for an amateur MMA event, okay? And it was basically just a bunch of plyos. And, you know, it hardened up my muscles, built up my explosiveness, but it also like just burnt massive calories. And to support that, I had like protein all day, and I had carbs right before and after my workout. Well, that became the anaerobics diet, and that workout, you know, the fitness portion of that MMA training workout that I made up became my anaerobics workout. Okay. And then I went full keto after that. Just did a lot of calisthenics, then a lot of weighted calisthenics. And then I went back to what I call the explosive muscle program, okay, which is a combination of the conditioning training, the plyometrics, the intervals, and some of the weighted calisthenics, okay, best of both worlds. And I got myself in the best shape of my life. But what happened recently, what I've noticed is that I was having problems since I went back onto carbs, even though it was just some carbs before and after the workout. Now, the amount of carbs that I take in depends upon my body weight. For me, it's about 50 grams. So it's like 50 grams pre, 50 grams post. That's 100 grams a day. Plus, you always take some carbs in. So let's say you take 130, 140 carbs a day, just incidentally. Even on keto, you take in some carbs. You can't avoid them. So now I'm taking like 100 grams intentionally, 130, 140 if you include the incidental carbs, which is not a lot, but I just noticed this is like a mass. This is basically like the difference, okay? I've done this diet before. I felt great on it. For some reason, something is going on this time with my body that I'm not handling the carbs very well. And what I thought to myself too is, one of the ways, I call it phantom pain, because like I said, I'll just wake up with a pain for no reason, and then it'll go away immediately for no reason. You know, even if I literally take a week and a half, don't do anything, after a week and a half, I'll wake up and like, oh my God, now my damn shoulder hurts, or no, now my back hurts, or now whatever hurts. Phantom pains. But another way that I would call it was basically like inflammation, okay? Because that's basically what it is. Like my body just aches and pains and whatever and injuries for no reason. And I also know that a lot of people go on the carnivore diet where they eat 0 carbs, not even a piece of lettuce. And one of the reasons is because they have like autoimmune problems, inflammation problems, where like carbs fuck them up, okay? So basically what I decided was I'm going to consider this as a definite possibility. So after talking to him, like I said, I'm walking around thinking to myself about whether this is, possible. This just happened last week. And I realized, yes, I felt at that time I had, not just that I had brain fog, I was lazy, like, I couldn't stand up sometimes straight to do a video, but I also just didn't have the mental clarity to do a video. I had brain fog. I was exhausted. I would get a bunch of sleep and I would just sit down and just fall asleep in my desk. Like I literally couldn't stay awake. Things were really bad. And I realized to myself, this is almost like a carb hangover. It's almost like when you're doing keto and then you have like a really sloppy cheat meal and the next day you're just like watery and puffy and you feel like crap. Your body is just all, bloated. And it's not just that, like I took a picture, like my girlfriend, for instance, is now in Panama. She wanted to do the international four-hour work week thing. So she's actually in Panama for a few months. And, I've got all the cats. I'm taking care of everybody. And I was sending her a video like of the cat, just hanging out with me at night. And I sent her the video and I realized I could hear myself breathing. I was like, like Ronnie Coleman or something like that. When he's talking, he's like, yeah, man, I used to lift heavy weights. I mean, nothing against Ronnie Coleman. I love the guy, but I was like, fuck, man. I sounded like that. I literally sounded like that. Now, I've got asthma. So it's a little bit of an excuse, but my asthma usually doesn't come out unless I have an underlying issue. If I get sick, I might have an issue, like a respiratory, infection, I might have an issue with my asthma. Certain allergies, I might have an issue with my asthma. Stress and, dehydration and stuff like that, and they really brings out my asthma. So like, why is it that I can hear myself breathing like this? So I have brain fog, no motivation, tired all the time, phantom pains and asthma. Like what the hell is going on? And I realized once again, that's how I feel. If I go ahead and have I'm on keto and have a cheat day, I should put on like 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds of water overnight, feel like crap, have aches and pains everywhere, no motivation to go to the gym. That's exactly how I felt, but that was like my everyday life. So what I basically decided is I need to go ahead and cut the cord on the carbs. I need to go back onto strict keto, and I need to find out what's going on with my body. And that's what I've done. Today is Wednesday. I started officially Monday. I kind of geared it down to like Saturday, Sunday. I kind of geared down the carbs. But like Monday morning, officially straight up low carb, cutting and bulking style keto. And I feel a whole lot better. Okay. I'll give you an example. So, Monday morning, I woke up, went to the gym. Okay. And I was doing a warming up with parallel grip pull-ups. I had a pain here. Okay. Warming up with a 25-pound plate. Now for me to catch, an injury warming up, I mean, that's like, that's like a marathon runner, like walking out to his car in the morning to drive to go somewhere to run, and he pulls a hamstring. Like there's no way in hell I should throw a 25-pound plate around my waist and fuck my little tendon up down here. And it's fine now. It's fine. But I swear when I was there, it hurt. And when I came back a little bit, it hurt. And it's fine now. That was Monday. Okay, yesterday was Tuesday. Last week, maybe a week and a half ago, I had tried, instead of doing 20 reps of squats with 315, I tried them with 275, okay, with a 25, 245s and a 25 on each side. I did 10 shitty reps, felt like crap, racked the weight, okay? Like not even going all the way down. I didn't have the range of motion. Tuesday, I was going to drop my weights all the way down to 2 plates and build back up again, okay? I was going to drop a 45 off my squats, a 45 off my deadlifts. I went ahead and I accidentally put on the 25s on each end of the bar, thinking I was going to drop it down that far, not all the way down to 2 plates. And I did 20 reps pretty good, okay? I did 20 reps pretty good. Today's Wednesday, that was yesterday, no problem with my back whatsoever, okay? So basically what I'm saying is like 3 days on, and I'm already having fewer and fewer problems with my body in general. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and talk about exactly what my diet is now for this. This is the first time in my life I'm doing a health-oriented diet, okay? Not because I was unhealthy before or because I didn't want to be healthy before. It's just I never had a health problem that I had to remedy, and this is something I got to fix. Okay, so I'm doing a slightly different version of keto than you would find in my low-carb cutting and bulking program. But like I said, I'm just feeling great. I'm going to be going back to my raw strength and muscle workout, which is just the weighted calisthenics and an hour walk for cardio instead of the plyometric intervals. Okay. I'm going to be going, for people who have purchased or seen my raw strength and muscle workout, there's like the intensity phase and then the volume phase. I'm going all the way back to the intensity phase, which means the first half of the program I'm going back to. I'm going to be building my 315-pound 20-rep squats from 225 pounds. I'm going to do my 5-plate deadlifts. I'm going to start all the way back with 4-plate deadlifts for my work sets. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly build back into it. You know, like I said, I'm a really easygoing beginning version of my workout, a slightly different version of my diet, but it's still basically the low-carb cutting and bulking diet and the raw strength and muscle workout. I feel better already. I'm going to go ahead and just keep telling you guys, like I said, like I'm be more consistent now that the brain fog's lifting, that the fatigue is lifting, but I'm going to go ahead and, you know, put out more of my little journey here, getting healthy again. And like I said, I'm also going to put up, you know, videos. I'll be much more serious now about how I structure this. True Fan Tuesday is going to be a regular thing. I've got a couple other ideas that, you know, I'm going to want to put in that I hope you guys are interested in. We'll see. Basically, I'm just going to put shit out whether you guys like it or not, and I'll see what resonates with you guys, what gets the more views, the comments, the likes, and whatever you guys seem to like. I'll put more of that out there. But like I said, none of this is possible if you're not healthy, you know, and like I said, I just didn't feel healthy. And let me just go ahead and say, this doesn't mean like, oh my God, he's saying his diet doesn't work. I made some of the best progress of my life on this diet. I got very healthy on this diet, the anaerobics diet, okay? It's just for some reason now, I literally can't handle carbs physically for some reason. I have no idea, you know. I never had asthma, and then at one point in my life, I was like my early 30s, maybe mid 30s. And like, I just woke up one day, boom, I had asthma. I never had asthma in my entire life. I mean, allergies come and go, you know, conditions like that come and go. It just happens. I have no idea why I can't handle carbs anymore, but I do know that I feel a lot better without them now. And I hope that I will continue to feel better without them. So anyway, like I said, definitely comment below what kind of stuff you want to see, okay? I'd actually love to ask you guys maybe in a post somewhere what kind of content you'd like to see. I got some ideas I'd like your opinion on. And aside from that, you know, like I said, thanks for watching once again. And I'm back. And I will see you guys in the next video.